The U.S. has started relocating thousands of Afghan evacuees from military facilities to communities across the country. The movement is part of a new phase in the massive resettlement effort stemming from the U.S.'s withdrawal from Afghanistan and the Taliban takeover back in August. The Department of Homeland Security reports so far more than 6,000 evacuees have left temporary housing to start new lives in more permanent homes. CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez is here with more on this effort. I am really curious, Camilo, so you spoke to a Biden administration official. They said they're making decisions on a case-by-case basis. How are they determining where these evacuees will settle?
Yes, good morning, Anne-Marie. These evacuees are finally starting to leave these 8 military installations here in New Jersey, Wisconsin, New Mexico, Virginia, and other places in the U.S., and they're starting new lives here in America in more permanent places. And we know that the government, as you noted, is making case-by-case determinations on where to place these evacuees. So officials are considering special needs of children, both educationally but also medical needs. They are also considering family ties. We know that many of these Afghan evacuees, Anne-Marie, actually have family members here and they want to go live with them. However, that has also been somewhat of a hurdle because the places where many of these evacuees have families, there are not a lot of affordable housing options for them. Places like Northern California, the greater Sacramento area, and the Dallas, Houston, and Washington, D.C. suburbs. So the Biden administration is right now trying to scramble to find affordable housing in conjunction with the resettlement agencies for these evacuees. The Biden administration official whom I spoke to told me that the administration is trying to find temporary housing in these popular destinations. It is also allowing evacuees to live in the homes of family members, which is typically not allowed. And it is also encouraging them to move to states like Oklahoma, Anne-Marie, which has actually offered refugees free housing for up to a year. So these are the options that the government is taking right now to try to resettle these tens of thousands of evacuees.
We know during the height of the evacuations, there was a real concern for those Afghans who had aided Americans and them applying for a special immigrant visas. But the whole process was pretty sort of clunky and challenging. Do we know how many were able to sort of get through on the special immigrant visas, and what has happened to those who don't qualify?
This is a key question, Anne-Marie, because of the frantic nature of these evacuations from Afghanistan. Most of the Afghan evacuees who have entered the U.S. did not come here as visa holders or traditional refugees. They entered the country under an immigration process known as humanitarian parole. And this legal authority does not grant them any permanent legal status here in the U.S. It just authorizes their entry. So we understand that the Department of Homeland Security has determined that at least 50% of the tens of thousands of evacuees who have been brought here to the U.S. could qualify for special immigrant visas, and these visas would allow them to get green cards here in the U.S. and to eventually become U.S. citizens. But others who don't qualify for special immigrant visas because they did not have a direct connection to the U.S. military or the U.S. mission during the 20-year war there will have to probably seek asylum or other forms of immigration benefits to remain here on a permanent basis. So we know that officials at these bases are actually helping these evacuees fill out some immigration paperwork, including applications for asylum.
And that's what I was going to ask you about. 55,000 Afghans still on military bases. Half of them are children. How long do officials think they will be there?
I actually asked the administration for a time frame. I asked them, when would you like to see all of these evacuees leave these 8 military bases on the U.S. mainland? And they told me that they don't have a concrete time frame. They want to obviously make sure that these evacuees do not spend a prolonged amount of time at these bases, but they want to do this carefully, and they want to make sure that these evacuees are sent to places that could actually accommodate them, and that these evacuees get all the services that they need. In addition to that, all of these evacuees, Anne-Marie, especially adult ones, have to get vaccinated against COVID-19, polio, measles, they have to get tuberculosis testing, and they have to get work permits at these military bases. And all of these medical and bureaucratic requirements to their immigration processing take time. So they need to complete that processing before they can leave these bases.
That makes a lot of sense. Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you so much.